Good morning from Sanur, Bali. Had a great first night here. Very quiet. First place I was able to get some real sleep. No roosters, no dogs fighting. Oh, it feels good. 3 weeks and the first bit of peace. Gotta go do some errands today. Gotta ship something at the post office to Germany. Tattoo machine I sold. Gotta figure that out. Just have to do some things like go get my manicure, pedicure. Probably get a massage. I'm gonna go for a walk on the beach. Otherwise, I'll do some exploring. Go to the other side of the beach, more on Sanur Beach. Look up some, best things to do in Sanur and try and get some content about it. Yeah, otherwise, we'll take it as the day goes. But yes, that's all. Good first impression. Kind of liking this place. So I managed to ship an item from the post office. It was gonna take 3 months, she said, to ship to Germany, to Berlin, if I used like economy packet through POS, which is the post office. And so I chose EMS Express, which was about $35, $40 for a 5 kilo package. And that's like 3 weeks shipping. Still long, but manageable. 3 months is crazy. That might not even arrive, but it was, she helped me to package it and was super friendly, even though she didn't really speak English. Foreigners kept coming who live in Sanur and all speak Indonesian and was helping little by little. It's funny. I also bought a mobile phone because I was using a hacked SIM card from the US, for months now here, which finally got, my IMEI, my phone got banned. I can't use it anymore on any network. So it's essentially now a camera, an iPhone 13 Pro Max. It's a great camera, so that's what it is. But I now have like a separate Samsung phone. Got to carry 2 phones and use the hotspot, which is what I anticipated doing. That's what I've always done in the past. And unfortunately, US phones are not unlockable. Some cases they might be, but not with AT&T, unless you do it through them. If it's all paid off and everything, maybe you can, but mine, I still had payments to make, and it had canceled the service, so wasn't happening. Right. It's super humid and not great today out, the weather, but I'm gonna walk down. I'm gonna take the bike down toward the beach anyways, have a little walk and just check out some spots that I haven't seen yet. It's not too bad. It's just real muggy. Like, you feel that right away. Let's go. It's definitely refreshing to drive around without traffic. Pretty much anywhere I needed to go so far, I can get there very quickly and easily with no traffic. Went to buy the phone, went to ship the item, and I'm, driving around the beach area. Drive to the supermarket, which sucks, by the way. They suck, but it's nice that it's close. It's nice. It's the first place I've been so far without traffic. There might be like a rush hour time, but yeah, it's nice. Now, do I feel like I could live here? Or should I say, do I feel like I would really want to live here? I don't think so. It does though feel livable. Like if I had to stay here for a month or something, it just seems like a chill beach town. But you also have access to Seminyak and Denpasar if you need access to more stuff. So it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. But when you think about the idea of like, oh, is there better places for me? Sure, definitely. If I want to compare it to something like Jomtien, outside of Pattaya, I think that it has a similar beach vibe kind of thing, beach town kind of vibe. Pattaya is definitely, and Jomtien is a little bit more city-like, I guess. But I think it's more for me over there than here. But similar kind of tourist, it feels like, and maybe different type of expat, because Jomtien, it gets a little bit mixed in with like nightlife tourists or people who are more heavy drinkers, or even like sex tourists. As much as it's not all about that, especially when you get outside of Pattaya, you still have that, and so it adds a little bit of more craziness, where I feel like Sanur seems like a really calm place, and it's more people who don't want to party. Maybe people drink, but like it's not like they're really partying, right? I don't have too much else I could compare it to other than the places I've been here, right? So Uluwatu obviously is like a younger crowd, more surfers, still party-centric, and it's very trafficy, very busy. So it still feels like maybe it would be lacking a little bit of just like interesting feeling for me here, even though it's quite nice and chill. That's my first impression. Might be the best place that I've stayed so far since I got to Bali, just because as much as I did like Uluwatu and the beaches are really nice, as a whole, it's a little big. You gotta drive far to get around, and you're still hitting traffic. So like there's still more of a stressful feeling there than here. So here I felt less stressed and more of an easy living feeling than Uluwatu or obviously Canggu. Mungu was a good in between where you have really good access to like different supermarkets, health food, gyms, everything you want, shopping. So for that, it's really good. It's tough. I don't think there's any one place that is going to have everything. I think maybe maybe I'm always looking for that perfect place as well. But I think it's a nice place to stop in. I actually feel like that's kind of what Bali is like a nice place to go for a week or two in general, no matter where you're going. This trip has really made me realize, especially getting stuck here with my expiring passport and, still waiting for a new one. Just like was taking Thailand for granted. And that it's more fit for me for long-term living. It's just a better fit. Dog taking a dump in the alley. But I do think Bali fine for 1 week, 2 weeks. And I think outside of the holidays too. I don't think coming during the holiday time doesn't add any value. If it's the only time you can get off of work, that's probably why most people come during that time. But if you're coming just for the sole purpose of, it's Christmas or it's New Year's, it's going to be better, I don't think that checks out. And so I think coming more either coming in the complete off season to avoid crowds, or otherwise coming in the high season for the sake of weather, but not during the holidays, right? Would be a good move. We've been lucky to have really good weather since I arrived. It's only just recently started to get a little less sunny. And, you know, we're into January now. January 2nd. 2nd, 3rd? I forget at this point the days, but I do think I've not been here long enough in Sanur yet, and it feels like it is really nice place to just chill out and go to restaurants, you know, eat on the beach. From looking at reviews at food places, the food seems like it's really good here. From the warangs to the seafood restaurants, people seem to really enjoy it. A lot of the comments are saying like, oh, best food I've had in Bali so far, stuff like that. So yeah, I think it just depends what you're looking for, right? And I think right now I'm not looking for anything specific. How are you?
Hey, good.
Good?
Yeah.
But it's the closest thing to what I am looking for right now, which is somewhere that's not party centric. There's not a lot of traffic, slow pace, greenery. Yeah, so it's quite fitting for me at the moment. But I will jump at the chance to go back to Thailand or even try something new, like the Philippines or Malaysia. You know, I would kind of jump at the opportunity. I think I've just been in Bali for too long, much longer than planned and much longer than I'd like. But the last 2 weeks of my trip have been far superior to the first 2 weeks. So the first week I was on Echo Beach in Canggu for about 10 days actually. And then for a week I was on Barawa in Canggu as well, which was better. So it's just gotten better and better, you know. The only place I would really recommend against strongly would be like staying on Echo Beach, right? I think if you're hard set on staying in Canggu, stay either on Barawa or just go slightly outside, right? That's my real recommendation, is go to Pereranan or go to Mungu, just a little bit outside of Canggu. Especially if you're looking on Airbnb, you can filter by just kind of a little bit more northwest-ish, a little bit outside of Canggu, and you'll typically always see some places available. And a lot of times the comments you'll see, the only real negative comments are like, oh, this was a little far, like we needed to rely on Grab. So, you know, I'm talking always recommendations if you have a motorbike. I always recommend getting a motorbike. You know, I guess if you've never done it before, it's not the place to learn. Like Canggu especially, that's not the place to learn to ride. Not anymore, at least. So it could change things if you have to rely on taking motorbike taxis. But it's still viable and there's still plenty of them available. So it's also not that walkable anyways, even if you're in the heart of Canggu. Like, you're near everything, but in my opinion, like walking around Canggu is a nightmare. So not recommended. Same for Seminyak. Can be a little more walkable in certain spots, but doesn't mean it's super pleasant. It's always good to stay a little bit outside. Now back to Sanur, which is where we are now. It is more walkable. There is sidewalks everywhere in Sanur. So even once you get off the beach, you're not walking in the street. You know, you have sidewalks everywhere. And it's quite easy to stay close to the beach here. So you can just walk to the beach. You don't even need to think about renting a motorbike here. And if you're into bicycles, there's a lot of bicycles for rent. That's what I see a lot of people doing. Maybe even an electric scooter, an electric bike type situation might fit you better than a gas powered, essentially like a motorcycle. It's not for everyone, especially I think the older you get, the more you start to value safety, and maybe you have a family, you're just not about that anymore. So yeah, I get that completely. I'm on the beach. I'm walking the opposite direction as yesterday. It's a nice vibe out here. It's a nice feeling, just peaceful. Nice breeze even on a humid day. I mean, it's rainy season now, so can't expect to have a bunch of sun every day, right? Definitely would love to hear from some other people who have spent considerable time in Thailand and Bali, about what you think in terms of the comparison of the two. I see a lot of similar thoughts and opinions to mine on Reddit. There's a lot of discussion on Reddit in the Thailand subsection, in the Bali subsection. There's the expats group, then there's the travel group. There's a bunch of different subreddits that you'll see conversation about how people just feel Bali is overhyped or something, right? But you don't want to be too negative about it, because some people have an incredible experience no matter where they are here. I think it just depends where else you've been. Have you been here in the past, right? What's your itinerary like? Are you traveling with friends or a family, and what you're looking for? Hi, how are you? People here are noticeably friendlier than the other parts of Bali. I think they're dealing with a less difficult type of tourist in general. And so any of the heavily touristed areas, especially when they're dealing with a lot of drunk people, of course it's going to take a toll on them, and over time it's going to be harder for them to be genuinely friendly. So when you come to a place like this, they haven't really been desensitized from the horrible tourists, which is good, and it shows. You can feel it pretty quickly. And this is both the locals and the people living here, the foreigners living here, have also been like extra nice, I would say. Older for sure. I think I just naturally find it easier to have conversation with older individuals too than even like young 30-somethings. It's just how it is. Quite nice over here. Just so much traditional style places still. It's a big plus. Wipe off this lens. So in the room that I'm in, yeah, it has a private kitchen, but I cook in there and the smoke goes crazy because high heat cooking. And I was opening the windows and there was a lot of bugs. So I was trying to keep it closed, but it's actually better to just keep the windows open, keep the door open for 5 minutes, and then close it. the girl who rented me the place, who you saw her for just a second in the video yesterday. She came by again last night because she wanted to help me with the perfume smell in the whole place, you know. And she did. She changed everything for me. You know, found all of the air fresheners and took them out. There was like 4 of them hidden around the room. And it's just so much better now. This is a great little spot. Right out here, this is nice. I can have the full 360 view. I like this. Great little spot to chill right here. There's even a spot out there it's like a little island of its own. This is great. Could easily post up here with a beer, a smoke. It's a good spot. The water's not like crystal clear out here, but it's, you know, it's much better than Canggu, much better than, I'd say, Kuta, Jimbaran. Well, maybe it depends which part, but I say once you get out there a little bit, away from the shore, away from the sand, it looks quite clear. It looks pretty nice. Yeah, this is nice. Well, I ran out of space, and so I was filming for a good 25 minutes where it wasn't filming at all. And I didn't see it until I looked at the phone. A lot of resorts over here. It's kind of like nicer, a little bit fancy. You know, not too fancy, but nice pools, a lot of chairs. Good amount of people inside as well. Happy hour cocktails, $120K and buy one get one free. I mean, that's not bad. You're paying $7 for 2 cocktails. That's quite fine by the beach. It is nice to see, like over here, the places actually have people in them. I noticed, I mean, there's tons of spots like on Legian and Double Six and Kuta, but there's not people eating in the restaurants, and so it just makes it feel too empty, and it makes it feel like I'd be a little bit less interested in eating there, or maybe it's just not good. But it doesn't mean that. I think, yeah, I'm not sure, because the accommodations were definitely booked up in Kuta during the holidays. People snagged those places quite quickly. There wasn't much available, so. But I didn't see the places filled up, the restaurants, especially beachside. Went over there a few times. Yeah, I think the beach is quite nice over here, to be honest. Super long beach, too. Just so many trees. It adds a lot. You know, I don't feel like there's any part of the beach that's ugly or anything. Now, maybe when I got all the way to the other end where there was tons of people swimming, I think that area gets a little bit less nice or something, and you know, maybe the sand was covered in some kind of like leaves and stuff like that, so it looks a little less appealing, right? But still nice to walk along. People having a good time, everybody in a good mood, I'll say. And on New Year's, when I was in Canggu, I mean, you'll see, by now I'll have the video uploaded, but just the level of sourness on some people's face and their mood, because they got so drunk, and either they were fighting with their boyfriend or girlfriend, or they had fallen on the ground or got hit smacked by a motorbike, or they were just frustrated with the amount of people. And then other people were on like top of the world, you know. Some people were just so happy and yelling and, you know, in the best place. And you just saw some other people just like absolutely sour. It was really entertaining for me, New Year's this year, both because of the people watching, and I think vlogging, it was getting people excited, and you know, it was more fun for me too, since I was by myself. It can add a little bit of fun, you know. It's more interesting. And even before New Year's, when I was in Motel Mexicola filming, I mean, that was a good time, where otherwise I usually would probably go somewhere like that and leave much quicker. I wouldn't have as much fun. So I think, yeah, vlogging is kind of fun for me. I enjoy it. It gives me something to do on a lot of downtime that I'd otherwise have here on days too, or where I'd feel like, oh, I should be productive, and maybe I wouldn't be. Yeah, it's been easy for me to become obsessed with it, obsessed with YouTube. Especially being stuck in Bali. I mean, if I didn't have this outlet, it would have been a very depressive time for me. You know, sure, there was ups and downs. There was moments I was like depressed, but oh God, having this outlet, very important. Very, very nice to have. So I'd say I recommend anybody who's thinking about starting a channel, but not sure about it for whatever reasons. Yeah, just give it a shot. You're gonna potentially really enjoy it. And it doesn't take anything more than your phone, especially if you have an iPhone, or like a really good Android phone. The camera's gonna be plenty. The microphone is plenty. And to get a $10 selfie stick, right? And I mean, you now have a full vlogging setup with potentially, or with better quality than a lot of YouTubers out there. So yeah, don't let that hold you back. The fact that you might think you need a big camera setup and a microphone, whatever it is, right? You definitely don't. I noticed they do have a lot of these spots in Sanur that you can kind of walk out on a little path surrounded by rocks. How you doing? Kind of catch a little bit of a view and a breeze. It is nice. I don't know if there's a name for these little things. These connected islands type deals. So we can kind of see that very soon it looks like it kind of curves the path and the beach, and maybe ends, or maybe it will loop around, maybe it'll go around to the other side, but I feel like that's usually where it would end. So I'd say the whole beach walk, I don't know, feels like maybe 40 minutes to 1 hour. I'm not positive, but judging by yesterday, it felt like I walked for about 30 to 40 minutes. Today, 20 to 30 minutes, something like that. So, and I started around the same point on both, going different directions. You will see a lot of people swimming out here. I'll have to have a swim for sure, either later today or tomorrow, especially if the sun comes out. I really haven't been soaking up sun like I was before. I need to get back in a little bit of a habit. When I have a balcony, like a private balcony on like a higher floor somewhere, that's when I really soak up the sun in private. I mean, especially when I was smoking weed. To be able to sit out there and just kind of just chill out, catch a little buzz and soak up sun. I mean, like, it was a good feeling. It surprised me that I was able to do it for hours in a day if I wanted to. You know, if I let myself. Many hours. You know, you can't do it too much, or else you really will get stuck in that mode where it's like retired mode, retired chill out mode. You know, I feel like it made me feel like, oh, some people do this. They also have alcohol. They can also drink alcohol. And so if I wasn't allergic, you bet your ass that I would be scarfing down beers as well. And so it's a real blessing that I can't. Oh wow, there's some noise. Let's see if we can. Some big construction going on here. I'm gonna put the camera over the fence so we can see. She's not happy. Some of the older people are, like the old women. Not sure what they're building there. But yeah, there's a certain type of like, I say like much older person, often like German, who just looks very, very bitter, especially when they look at my face and I say hello and they just kind of keep that bitter look at me. Because I remember this from living in Berlin, that this would happen with some of the older generation Germans who were just not thrilled about the changes in the city and their neighborhood, right? And you could feel that. That was a strong thing. And they didn't like that I would just speak to them in English, and almost feels like you get some of that occasionally out here too.
Mum, we haven't even attempted to go to the beach. We're not even going. And Mum said, no, mate.
Nothing, you know, I actually love German people, and I don't even know that person was German, but that's my experience in the past that I'm relating it to. But mostly everybody is very friendly, and if you smile at them, they're gonna smile back. You say something to them, they're gonna say something back, you know. It's just how it goes. In contrast to New York, where you just kind of don't say anything to each other, it's a big improvement. Thank you. Good dog just taking a crap right on the little spot. No shame. Zero shame. I think I will probably, I'm not planning on extending my stay in Sanur just because I won't have a ton of content to film, and I'm just gonna wait day to day and see when my passport arrives, and I'm gonna play it day by day. I don't want to go to Ubud now because it's so damn far. I kind of went south at this point, and Ubud is more north. So I'm looking at like 2 hours from here. I could do it, but with all of the luggage I have, I don't really want to do that. That's the only reason I would consider extending like 1 day or something here, 2 days, wait for the passport, because I have all the luggage. I don't want to waste too much money sending it in the taxi. But there's not too many other options of places to go. I could go to an island like Nusa Penida. The Gili Islands are very close. I'm not too interested. I've been, and it's definitely not what I'm looking for. Like Gili Tea is just very party centric. Gili Air is kind of boring. But they are super close by boat. I'm much more interested to go to Nusa Penida because it's like very, very beautiful, clear waters, and it's quiet, it's chill. So I'd go and I would try snorkeling, which I've never done. So I'd kind of get a unique experience out of that. Yeah, that's pretty much today, Just running a few errands, getting outside a little bit for a walk. gonna edit the vlog pretty soon. Start editing the vlog a little earlier, so I'm not up until 3 a.m. every night. I do find it still hard to sleep past something like 8, so if I go to bed at 3, I'm sleeping 5 hours. My sleep is much better now. I'm hitting REM sleep. I'm remembering my dreams for the first time, so I know that I'm hitting a more proper REM sleep. We'll see once I'm a little distance from New Year's. You know, my mini bender that I had. I think I'll feel even more refreshed, more balanced. But I'm doing much better. No complaints. Oh, it is humid. You know, even without the sun, it's like it's a real sweaty feeling out here. I need to get myself some water. I'm gonna do that now. Okay, heading away from the beach now, back to my scooter. I think what I want to do is find a nice massage. Maybe find a place to get the nails cut. That's pretty much it. Maybe I'll do some kind of spa situation. Get into some, rest and relaxation mode. Maybe find some food to eat, some seafood, or I don't know. I'm trying to get back on my cooking all the time kick, which I have been actually. But I slipped up a little bit during, I'd say 3 days leading up to New Year's. And the New Year's Day, I just found some coconut yogurt that's so good. The brand is like Moo, something like that. They sell it in Festive and most of the Pepitos as well. It's like a sugar-free coconut yogurt, just made with coconuts and cultures, but it's so good. It's like incredible. And I kept buying these 350 milliliter jars of it. Like I would eat 3 of them per day, probably for 4 days I had. So I had like 1,200 milliliters of yogurt for 4 days in a row. I just couldn't stop eating it. And it wasn't really bothering my stomach too bad. That's why I kept doing it, but it's still a lot of extra calories, a lot of extra food, because I was also eating just as much meals like meat as well. So toning it down. I was also on the vape for 2 full days, just sucking that vape down, which I don't do. I don't smoke and I don't vape, but there's moments in time where I will hit people's vape. And since I've been off the weed, I think that was my fix. That was my fun. So it's okay. I let myself have that. And it was definitely bothering the system, but not as bad as I would have thought for how much I was hitting it, right? So it just felt like I was getting away with a lot. And so I was enjoying it. I think I've healed my body quite a bit from these past months of being so strict. I've built some resistance to the things that before, if I took 6 or 7 hits, big rips of a vape in a night, it would really bother my stomach, my throat, my lungs. I would feel it in a different way. So probably the time off of weed too has really helped recover my lungs, because I started to really feel like my lungs were taking a hit. So it's nice to be able to enjoy those things in small doses. So I'm going to go back to being very healthy for long periods of time, and then, hey, I think I can enjoy these things again occasionally. Occasionally enjoy a little food. I even ate Indonesian food with the Indonesian girls from New Year's. We ate at a warung, in the morning, I mean, I even asked, do you put sugar in this? Yes, for every dish, right? It's like Javanese food, Indonesian Javanese food. I had like chicken, fried eggs, fish, like vegetables, but they use sugar in all of it, so it didn't kill me. I felt it, but it did not kill me. Just gotta find the scooter now. I think I actually see it straight ahead. I'm gonna head back to the place. Yeah, look up some spas, massage situation, some food, maybe cook, and I'll pick this up in a little while. My scooter. I just cooked dinner and ate. No sunset today. Weather's shite. Still very humid, actually. Just gonna take it easy tonight. Edit the vlog. Just relaxing. Probably do the same tomorrow. Just relax. I looked up things to do in Sanur and not much. There's not too much, if anything, to vlog about. So just gonna use it as some, peaceful time, much needed actually, and figure out the next plan. I've been looking for accommodations in Bangkok and Philippines. It is tough right now. I don't know if it's just heavy travel time or if prices have just gone up all around, but yeah, it's a little difficult to find a good accommodation for 600 US or less. So I'm gonna keep at it until I find something that clicks well and make a decision so that I'm pretty ready once the passport arrives. That's it. I'll probably go for the massage tomorrow. There's a place, Leha Leha, which I booked for 11 a.m. because they were full today. The reviews look like really good. A lot of people saying, one of the best massages they've had. So I'm gonna try it out. It's been a while since I've spent any money on anything. So I think it's around 200,000 for an hour. If not 90 minutes, I'm not sure. I think an hour. So it's a little bit more pricey, but still it's around $14. It's not too bad. That's it. I think I'm gonna end the vlog today. Pick it up tomorrow, every day. Thanks for watching to the end. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a thumbs up. Definitely will help the video, help my channel a bit. Yeah, last week in Bali. It's been interesting. All right, good night, everyone. See you tomorrow. So I'm just sitting in this computer chair and it completely snapped, broke, and I went down like that. Thankfully I didn't get hurt too bad. Kind of messing my neck a little bit, but not too bad. But what's that? I mean, how does that happen? I'm not that heavy. I'm really not that heavy at this point. I don't know if she's gonna be mad or if she's gonna say sorry, to be honest. I don't care either way. I just hope that I'm not expected to replace the chair. Okay. I'm glad I booked a massage tomorrow morning. That's cool. I mean, at least there's other chairs here, but you know, not the best. Maybe I'll try and super glue it. I doubt I'm finding super glue in Bali, but otherwise that's broken for good. If I super glue it, then somebody else is probably gonna break their freaking neck. Bonus content. Oh yeah. Just hurting myself repeatedly here. Love it. Oh, gotta get myself out of here.